Oh, hi! This week we're making a super quick, easy project, and it's a good like stash buster because I've had some of the stuff I'm going to be using for probably 20 years. Some scraps are more recent, but not usable for much. So let's just hop right into it. I'm making some coasters for some friends of mine because they need them. And this is something that's been floating around in my head for a while. And I don't know that I've ever talked about my felt hoarding problem, but I've had some of these pieces of felt since I was probably 10-ish because some of the specific colors in here were for a Bubbles Powerpuff Girl doll I made for my sister. I'm sure I never finished it. There's still scraps from that in there. Oh, also this storage bin is from a Cape Cod thrift store that I probably bought the bin, not the thrift store, about 12 years ago. Very much enjoy this one. Supposedly that thrift store is where the hat that Audrey Hepburn wore in My Fair Lady lives. I don't know how true that is, but I suppose Cape Cod is where that type of thing would end up. It was egregiously expensive and in a case, so it certainly wasn't coming home with me. Okay, as for the top fabric, I mean, you can also add an extra layer of felt, whatever you want. These aren't gonna get like washed, so I'm not super worried about them fraying a ton, and we're gonna be zigzagging them, so that should hold them together okay. This is some very choice cat fabric that was left over, just these little tiny scraps from some custom bags I made for one of the lovely Patreon folks, Amanda. So I thought what better thing to use scrap fabric from that for than a gift for fellow cat lovers. Oh, and I'm just using a little silicone coaster as a template. So on top of the felt and the cat fabric, I'm also putting a layer of vinyl between the pieces of felt because I'm going to have two layers of felt, vinyl in the middle, fabric on top. But I figured this will help keep water above a certain point, but I didn't want vinyl on the bottom because if I stitch it, there's going to be holes. Because I've seen ones that are just felt. I've seen thin, floppy, rubbery ones that don't really do that much. So I'm hoping this is a good combination. So I did some fussy cutting with the coaster and got all of the cats that I wanted. I was just barely able to squeeze 8 kitty faces out of this, so I feel like that's a good set number. Then for the felt and the vinyl, I just kind of roughly cut out some pieces because I didn't want to get into the struggle of trying to line everything up that's perfectly cut exact. So I wanted to have one perfectly cut piece, the rest be a little loose, and then at the end trim it all down. I love that approach with finicky bits. As you can tell by this pile, everything has been sitting in storage for a while, so I'm gonna press everything out, and ooh, look at this beautiful flat stack of pieces. So I got my little piles together and then made some cat coaster sandwiches. So cat fabric on top, green layer of felt, vinyl piece, tan layer of felt. You can certainly add more felt in here, get thicker felt maybe. This is just the like craft shit you get in little 8.5 by 11 sheets at the craft store. Then I set my machine to a kind of medium length, not tiny but not huge, zigzag stitch. Just got some matching thread, something I thought would complement everything. And then I just stitched around the edge. I tried to get as close as I could, but even if you go off the edge a little bit, I wanted to have a bit of a rim of the felt sticking out around the cat fabric. Also probably reinforcing the top fabric with some type of interfacing would help it hold together as well if you're worried about it. Maybe some Wonder Under or something. But again, I'm not expecting these to go through a washing machine. And then we're just about done. The only thing left is you can do regular scissors and have a nice clean edge, but I have pinking shears that I never use for anything, and this seemed like the perfect opportunity. Very carefully went around the edge. I do try to make sure that where the last tooth ended on the previous cut, I kind of line up with that when I start the next pressing of the scissors. That's probably a way too complicated way to say I line up where the pinks go. That's also a weird sentence to say. And then it's done. We get our teeny tiny little kitty coaster. I am going to make the whole set, but I'm not seeing those friends for another week, so I have a little bit of a window. By the time this video is up, you'll see the whole stack in the thumbnail, I'm sure. And yeah, I just absolutely love how this came out. Thank you again to Amanda for having me do that project because it reminded me how many good fabrics are on Spoonflower because there's so many small artists that design stuff and then sell it on there, and there's just it's really cool. I would absolutely love to have custom fabric made on there. I just I need to build up some specific types of art skills before I get there, but ideas are in the works. And listen, it's because of Patreon pals like Amanda that I am able to dedicate time to working on this, even quick little projects. Because of y'all, I get to gift these cute little things to a friend of mine because I got to take the time to do it and finally test out this theory. Like, this feels good. Okay, hi, good morning. This is actually turning into a please help me brainstorm ideas request because I did gift the coasters to friends. Friends then said, and I quote, in extreme cases of really sweaty glasses, end quote. they still soak through to the bottom, which is disappointing. But this was kind of like a testing it out on them as a guinea pig situation. I really thought adding the vinyl was gonna fix it, but this problem arose because they have really thin plasticky coasters to start, like kind of floppy rubber ones, and it still makes the table wet. So I guess I thought the felt would be better, and it's not, and that's okay. I do have an idea for something that isn't fabric related for a coaster, but if you have thoughts on materials, please, if you don't mind, help me troubleshoot this, because now I am fixated on this and I'm on a mission to make good coasters. So I would super appreciate some bug troll brainstorming, and also thought I'd give you the update on, like, we gave it a go. I'm sure that version that I just made would be fine for like a hot tea or something, but I also don't have time to confirm or deny this information now, because it's the morning of this video going out, and I'm so glad I'm able to tell you this before it goes up. It's as if I should just try out my own shit before I put it on the internet. What a concept. We're trying to learn and improve here though, so I guess still mission accomplished. I'm gonna jump back to whatever end clips I already had in place, so I hope you're having a lovely Friday. And I bid you adieu. Truly, I cannot tell you how many different rolls of this clear vinyl I have and never use it for anything, as well as like so much felt. I have so much felt. You saw it. That was kind of embarrassing going through that whole thing and realizing I still had felt from that Powerpuff Girls project, because damn, feels like multiple lifetimes ago that I was working on that. Anyways, I'm gonna keep this short. I'm gonna go eat ice cream and enjoy the rest of the holiday weekend, though you won't be seeing this till the Friday of Labor Day week. But I hope you're all having a great September. This is probably my favorite month of the year. I think there's a bit of that kind of back to school reset feeling, where it's just kind of clean slate, feeling refreshed, ready for bigger challenges. There's like a lot of potential in the air, and I'm gonna harness it and make a bunch of shit. And with that, I will see you next Friday with another video. Thank you so much for hanging out.